be good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We are all in this together.
Yes, we are.
We're gonna be fine.
We are.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Thank you so much.
Huh?
Thank you
Yeah.
so
Did you get some spices?
Oh, absolutely. That's the best Christmas.
Oh.
This is fake. That's fake.
This is fake?
Yeah, that's Photoshop. That's fake. On my mama, that's fake. On my heart, on my life, my little brother grave, I could die right now. That's fake.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is Kamala Harris faking her campaign once again. Because obviously, this is how she rolls. This is how Kamala Harris does things when you try to win over the dumb people. Because, obviously, when we talk about Kamala Harris, everything she does is just not a reality. It's all behind coats and mirrors, and, smoke and mirrors, and I think that it needs to be exposed today. On top of that, she visited a place called Penzi Spices, which needs to be very, very anti-Republican, hates Republicans, and we're gonna get into them as well, because she's always in the safe space of her campaign, and not into opposition, which she cannot handle. So what we have here, this is from Lord Loomer, saying, Kamala Harris' presidential campaign staged a fake emotional encounter with a woman on camera today at an event in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that the campaign called organic and spur of the moment, but have uncovered the fact that the venue is actually an anti-Republican spice company, Penzi Spices, called Penzi Spices, that explicitly says on their company website that Republicans are racist, and that they don't like or feel inclined to welcome Republicans or Trump supporters at their business. So, yeah, this is what we have here. Of course, you can see the video that's right on top of here that you can see. Kamala Harris just not being very true to herself. True to the American people, because, of course, that's what she does. And it's really starting to poke through. I mean, if you look at this video again here, as you can see, it's like, it looks supposed to be very emotional. It's supposed to tug at your emotional heartstrings and stuff like that. That's what it's actually supposed to do. And again, guys, you gotta try to avoid the emotional heartstring stuff, because again, it's just what the Democrats do. They have to they give people, they tug at people's emotional heartstrings because that's easier to manipulate than, to actually think rationally, because we all think with emotions for the most part, and not with our actual brain. So, what we have here, again, is that Kamala Harris gave business to a company that holds sales called Republicans Are Racist Weekends. She attended their store during their Republicans Are Racist Weekend. Today, Kamala Harris pretended to have an emotional encounter with a woman who was pretending to cry on Kamala Harris' shoulder. Her campaign said Kamala was visiting a random spice shop and just happened to capture the moment on camera. Yeah, well, that happens to be fake. However, upon further research, I've discovered that Penzi Spice Shop is an openly anti-Trump and anti-Republican business that caters to non-conservative clientele. Kamala's campaign wants you to think that the woman who pretended to cry on her shoulder was a regular random woman, but Penzi's makes it very clear they only want Democrat clients. See receipts below. On their website, Penzi Spices has an entire section called About Republicans, in which the company explains why it's their company policy to hate Republicans, who they call racist on their company website, on their company site, and on the Republicans page, on their official website, Penzi Spices says, going forward, we would be glad to have you as customers. But we're done pretending the Republican Party's embrace of cruelty, racism, COVID lies, climate change denial, and threats to democracy anything other than risks they legitimately are. If you need us to pretend you are not creating the hurt you are creating in order for you to continue to be our customer, I'm sad to say you might be happy elsewhere. So, yeah, that's what's going on here. And it continues. This company openly hates and discriminates against Republicans and Trump supporters. It makes it very clear Republicans aren't wanted in their stores. There are 49 Penzi stores across the country. The one Kamala visit was in Pittsburgh, but the company is based out of Wisconsin. Social media posts from the company below that I have uncovered show that they are anti-Trump, pro-Biden, and pro-Kamala Harris. According to NBC records, Bill Penzi has given $111,000 to Biden for president and to Harris Victory Camp Fund. And adding more evidence to the fact that this was staged, the original posters of the video on X were Ian Sam and Julian Helmberg, both of whom work for Kamala Harris' presidential campaign. Ian Sams is the spokesman for Kamala Harris. He reposted the video. Posted the video by his colleague Julia Hamburg, and said every American should get to see this clip of Vice President Harris. Retweet some more, treat some more can. They staged the video and then planted the story to make it seem organic. They want you to think this was a random woman out in the public, when in reality, this was a staged event at a radical leftist progressive company whose owner, Bill Pansy, spent over $700,000 on Facebook and in support of impeaching President Trump. Bill Pansy also sells BLM merchandise in his stores. Kamala Harris is campaigning inside a business that supports Black Lives Matter racists who burned down the country down, which further highlights why she's unfit for office. So again, this is what's going on here, and here's the actual receipts. Now, this is what Pansy Spices had to say here. For years, conservative Republican has been an oxymoron. Donald Trump hunted conservative values into extinction, but keep pretending there's something other than racism you're there for. Where a spice business pretend doesn't work for us, we have to live in the real world. With this cold snap, don't miss the days of Donald Trump when all our cities were in flames. He cared about us. He kept us warm. Good comeback to sanity. Support Joe Biden. Good inauguration efforts. He deals at Pensies.com. So this was in 2022. So yeah, it ain't great, but it doesn't actually end here, guys. It doesn't really end here, because what we have here is another thing from Pansy Spices, saying the Republican Party is a racist party. You, me, and everybody's dog knows that. That racism hurts good people already facing more than their share of obstacles. As long as the costs of racism are only paid by those on the receiving end, racism will never end. This was back in January 29th, 2022. So, yeah, it ain't looking too great here. And now, of course, we're going to go here as well, because here's what I want you guys to see. This is what it says on their website. It says, about Republicans, as we have now said on our first ever About Us page on our website, there's something unique about humankind's relationship with spices that time and again have caused spices to be a driving force for change. We live in a time calling out for change and for a solution to the very real problems our country and our planet face. So, again, this is kind of giving a kind of know-how. But, then what is what they actually say here? It says, watching the slow decline of the Republican Party over the last century and the steep decline bottom falling out of the last decade, it can be easy to see the nonsense that has overtaken the party as pretty much random. Once you start seriously looking at the problems America and the world face and who and what are standing in the way of those solving those problems, it quickly becomes clear there's nothing random to what the Republicans are promoting. The Republican departure from conservative values and embrace of what, from a distance, looks like a whole lot insanity and didn't happen by chance. All of it has been intelligently crafted with the goal of preserving the position of those who profit from the inhumanity that is at the very roots of pretty much every problem we are facing. From the environment to racism, discrimination, to health, to saving our democracy at home, and growing abroad, half the time Republicans are intentionally blocking the solution to the problems we face. The other half of the time, they are the problem we face. The truth of our time is we arrive at the point where there's no way to respect nonsense the Republican Party is promoting and have any hope of overcoming the problems we as a nation and as a planet face. Given the choice between saving America and planet Earth or saving the feelings of Republican voters, we are choosing to side with saving our country and our world. I'm sorry it's come to this. And no, there is no hate in any of this. There is a whole lot of propaganda at the heart of much of how Republican voters have been steered away from conservative values to what they now seem to all too happy to vote for. The thing to remember about propaganda is that it doesn't just misinform, it also works to make people immune from the truth by convincing them any facts that counter the Republicana are nothing more than hate, but really have no hate for Republican voters. None at all. I actually like and respect most of you guys. Sure, there are a growing number that are there for the racism, but I still believe the majority of you have good hearts that want to help and do the right thing. I know you must be trustworthy and honest and funny and caring and good souls. The problem is what you are. The problem is what you are now voting to support. You guys have turned around. Remember, when you distrust the big city types and your deep-rooted beliefs and paying your debts, respecting your marriage, raising your kids, willing to serve, honoring your word, and going to church every week had you voting for Donald Trump over Joe Biden, all because Biden's son had a computer, etc., etc. So that's what this is what is going for, right? Okay, again, it goes on to say, going forward, we still will be glad to have you as customers, but we're done pretending the Republican Party's embrace of cruelty, racism, covert lies, climate change denial, and threats to democracy, or anything other than the progressive they legitimately are. If you need us to pretend you are not creating the hurt you are creating in order for you to continue to be our customer, I'm sad to say you might be happier elsewhere. If on the other hand, you still want to want the best spices and don't need us to respect what you now vote for to be our customer, hooray! So, yeah. This is what they're talking about, the Republican Party. And it says, Bill. Now, guys, don't turn off now if you guys are keep on watching. Because, again, here's what I want you guys to see. You see this? This is the actual website. This has been archived because, again, there's a reason for that. If you go here, this is the archived one. And then if we try to go here, my friends, let's click. Uh-oh, server error. They have removed this about page from the website. It's gone. It's no longer there. I wonder why. Perhaps because we learned that these people are evil and they don't like Republicans. And I will show this too here. Now look at this. This is actually a picture of the Black Conservative Perspective having this up prior to this. And this is showing you exactly what we're talking about. This was up here very, very, very recently. This was not that long ago. So if we're going to go and talking about like the actual reality of what's going on here with the these guys, you're seeing that they're not so much with everybody else. So again, they have done this very recently, and it's not great. And it's only been 1 day exactly, as you can see here, only 1 day. So this happened very, very recently. They took this down. So I hate to break it to you guys, but by all intents and purposes, everything is not going too great for them. And again, when they talk about this here, right, guys? When they talk about that the racist party, perhaps they should do a bit of research, because again, when we go with this here, this is from the Democratic Jim Crow from the Democratic Party. The party split over the slavery issue in 1860 at its presidential convention in Charleston, South Carolina. Democrats nominated Stephen Douglas as their candidate, and Southern Democrats adopted a pro-slavery platform and nominated John C. Breckinridge in an election campaign that would be won by Abraham Lincoln and the newly formed Republican Party. The Democratic Party identified itself as a white man's party and demonized the Republican Party as being, Negro-dominated, and even though whites were in control. Then it continues to say here that due to the importance of seniority in the U.S., Congress Southerners were able to control most of the committees in both houses of Congress and kill any civil rights legislation. Because so they're wrong here. They're just straight up wrong here. And every single one saying that the Republicans were the racists, when in reality, the Democrats were the racists. They were the ones that did not like the civil rights. So perhaps you guys get your facts straight. And of course, we have this here from, the Trump War Room, and this really, really does not help Kamala Harris at all.
Described Vice President Kamala Harris as a progressive. She has previously supported Medicare for all. Now she does not. She's previously supported a ban on fracking. Now she does not. These, Senator, are ideas that you have campaigned on. Do you think that she is abandoning her progressive ideals?
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election. My own view is slightly different. I think that in America today there are a lot of people, rural people, working class people, who no longer believe that the United States Congress and government represents their interests. They're dominated by big money interests.
So, I don't like Bernie Sanders, but he's right. She is only catering to what seems to get her elected, rather than her own value system, her own actual policies, her own what she truly believes. So, when you get Kamala Harris here, you're getting something that is not really true. That is not what she really believes. And again, this is from CNBC saying top air surrogate General Raimondo says she's been crystal clear, and the CNBC host just destroys her.
I think she's been crystal clear on her values, what she wants to fight for, and how she will do it. And also, she talks to people, right? She's reaching out to me. She's reaching out to businesses.
She hasn't talked to the press, Gina. I mean, I know you're a surrogate, but the American people are frustrated. The media is frustrated at the amount of access anyone's gotten to her for the past 41 days. I know you've seen that. We're finally going to have a debate tomorrow night, but she sat down for one interview that was taped and then cut down, and certain little things came out from it. But it has been a master class in avoiding any questions, and nothing's been made clear by her. Maybe it's been made clear in dribs and drabs from her policymakers when it comes out in print or on off a teleprompter at one of her scripted speeches. She's been impossible to pin down on anything because she hasn't given any access. The American people deserve it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, and I hear you.
Oh yeah, like, I don't know what to tell you guys, but this is something that is just a complete insanity, right? It's complete insanity. And she hasn't talked or said anything about her policies. And this running away thing is really hurting her, because what's happening here is that she's actually losing in the polls. She's actually losing against Trump. So we'll see on how everything is going to go here. I'll make an actual video on that later. But this is just not looking too great here for Kamala Harris. Everything is going up in flames. And, of course, as always, she has to lie about everything that she does. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.